The next question would be, while we always talk about our problems, that how will we make the time? Will we be going to a place where there's no AC and sit the entire day? What are the challenges that are faced by these people whom we go and help them? What is it that we are unaware of? Can you please throw some light on that, Toastmaster Jitendra?
Sure. So, as I said earlier as well, there are some very basic things we take for granted, right? Like, let's say if I ask you, Toastmaster Vidya, send me 100 rupees. You're not going to go to your bank, deposit the 100 rupees in your account, and then ask the bank to transfer it to my account, right? You just pick up your phone, do Paytm, Google Pay, UPI. There are 1,000 other options available, right? But imagine for somebody like those people, they have to go not just for transferring money to someone else, but even for their own needs. If they need to deposit and withdraw money, that woman that I was talking to you about, she said I had to take half a day's leave because the bank opens at 10 a.m. and if I go there, I will spend minimum 2 hours because I don't know how to fill out a deposit slip, right? I think they have made it their job very easy by saying that there is an English deposit slip on the front and a Marathi one on the back. But still, for someone who can't read and write, it doesn't matter what language it is, right? So she literally took, I think the first session that I took, they took literally 1 hour, I think little over 1 hour to fill out the deposit slip because I had to tell them that this is what you need to put here, this is what I need to do here. So, these are some very, very basic things that are, huge challenges for them. And imagine losing half a day's pay, especially when you don't make as much, especially when you're living from paycheck to paycheck. Losing half a day's pay is a big deal just because you have to go to a bank. And then, of course, to be treated at the hands of the bank staff like you are some peasant who's begging for money, whereas you're asking for your own money from your account. That's even worse, right? We have so many times we blame the PSU banks for being terrible at service, right? But for them, that is no, because private banks will ask you to maintain a minimum balance, and they don't want that, so they go to government banks, and then they're treated like literally dogs, So that is, it's not. I mean, it's not even imaginable that this can be a challenge for someone. For us, it's I can I used to pride myself on the fact that I've never been to my bank branch where I have my account, or the fact that I have never withdrawn money in the past 3 years, because everything has become digital now. But on the one hand, where we're making such progress, there is one side of the society which we are so done. That is.
Thank you so much. It's like probably digital inclusion and technological inclusion. We have still a long way to go. Toastmaster Deepak, can you please throw some light?
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Vidya. So, teaching an adult and teaching a kid are two different things. So, teaching adult is very easy to they grasp what you are saying it, and also if you do mistake, they know about that. Yeah, they are doing it. But when you teach the kids, if you do mistake, they laugh because they are innocent, right? So that is one thing which is kids are very also very what you call it. It's not mindset of adults how we can do it. Now someone is doing someone doing a mischievous thing in the class, and the other person, as an adult we say okay, don't do it, but kids don't do. They proactively include in that activity. If he is doing any mischievous, he will also do. Okay, I will also do it. So to get the a limelight or fame in the class, so that I am also doing it. So that was one thing which they have that in common. So these are the challenge of most important is the English, because I was teaching in public speaking, so they don't know how to speak, how to frame a sentence, what is idiom, what is phrases, what is rhetorical sentences, what is page tone, nothing. So from zero I started out with, it was a 1 year old term I did it. So simple, then what is storytelling, then how to pitch around. So I started with impromptu speak, which we do in Toastmasters the same way, giving one word and then going it with. So again, I was doing the what you call the chain of, which is called Robin Hood format, where I used to give one word and the second person would link to that one word. So that was a thing which I started slowly, gradually doing it, and then later on, then we got a lot of good platform where we can go ahead and select it for that. One of which TED platform. So that's how we get into it. So the main challenge for them was the English, and the second is the confidence, because and also the platform. The three things, because in what happens in ICSE, CBSE both, they have lot of they have MUNs, they have debate competition with other organizations. But in government schools, they don't have that much of luxury and the facilities to teach kids, because their main intention is education, which is not life skills. So their main intention to score how to good in maths or science or whatever matter. So that in subjects. So their intention wasn't second, it's not in priority. So as a life skill. So that was one thing they had in challenge. Then once we gave that exposure, then slowly they got in confidence in doing in public speaking. That's how they got into it.
Yes, right, Toastmaster Deepak. And one more thing I was actually curious about was that when it comes to these children, when it comes to their parents, they their parents come from a completely different background than what our parents come from. So the way our parents emphasize on education or the importance they give, is it treated the similar way when it comes to their communities as well?
Yeah, there's a beautiful. Yeah, there's a beautiful story which happened to me when I was teaching there. So there was a beautiful kid. So what happened? So I told him we had a practice session. So it was on weekends, so weekdays. So not on weekend, because we had only 2 weeks to prepare for the TED. So I told them, can you stay in school, because I also had weekdays in colleges. So I used to tell that I will come around 2, because their school ends at 2 p.m. So I thought 2 to 3:30 would be one and a half hour. I need a practice session, because unless and until you practices, you can't go and deliver that thing. So that was the main thing. So then I asked them, then they asked their parents. Then the parents said that what is exactly you're doing it. So then I need to speak with their parents, and I try to understand it's about the improvement of your kid, not not going in a wrong direction. So that was a commitment which I gave to every parents, and they used to come and then pick up. So that is also one thing. And also sometimes whatever they don't pick up, so I used to go and drop in their homes and then go back to my home. So it's an evolution, but it's all about learnings. I learned good lessons with the kids. It's not giving me as a knowledge and wisdom to them, learning from them as well. So that was the most important learning.
True that. To the whole session, the way Toastmaster Jitendra informed us about this digital divide that we have, and even when it comes to education being a privilege, which we take it so much for granted, we can literally see there are these two worlds existing at the same time in the same place. So what can we do, be from some small act or some big acts that which can help us bridge this divide? So starting from Toastmaster Jitendra, could you share some tips on bridging this divide?
Yes. So, I personally, after that NGO, since I worked with that NGO for about 2 years, now I make it a point that every time the first person I came back home and spoke to about this was the maid in my house, my house help. So I asked her that, is everything fine? So, of course, now the thing is that this is a money matter, right? And money matters are generally supposed to be a little, I don't know, it's not, people are not very comfortable talking about how they manage their money and so on, right? I mean, of course, as, adults, we can discuss our investment strategies or something like that. But if I ask you, what bank do you bank with? Do you have a bank account? How do you make sure that you are saving money and so on? Then people tend to get a little bit on the back foot, right? So initially, I also faced that with the students as well as with the people I was talking to. But I think what I realized was once they understand your intention, which will probably be 5 minutes into the conversation, they'll be very comfortable and they'll be open to help. So and there are people all around us. The person who comes to deliver milk at our home, the person who collects the garbage from our home, your house help, your watchman in the society. They are all earning money, but they don't really have bank accounts, and especially most of them have now shut their accounts after falling prey to some or the other kind of a scam. So that is the worst case. So I will always say this, that people are there all around you with such stories. It is not an extraordinary story. There are people like them all around us. So just speak to them. If you start a casual conversation about this, you will figure out what kind of horrors they face. So yeah, it's just about starting a conversation with people around them. That's all.